Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
This is the election season. We are sticking with the theme of elections. However, when it comes to politics, elections, there is also the story of the crime-politics nexus. In the Hindi heartland, we say Bahubalis, strongmen, gangsters, whatever you choose to call them. But in many parts of the country, particularly in the Hindi heartland, these Bahubalis or gangsters or strongmen are very powerful in politics. Over time, over the past few months, we've told you the stories in some detail of Atiq Ahmed in Allahabad or Prayagraj. He had been under arrest for a long time. He was killed then, sort of quote-unquote mysteriously. You know that story and also his history. He was also responsible for a lot of people getting killed in the course of time, in the course of decades. There was also the story of Mukhtar Ansari, who also died. He died of sickness in the jail. He'd been locked up for a long time and he was getting convicted in case after case after case. There was Brijesh Singh, who had also been in jail for a long time but then got bailed out somehow surprisingly, but has been quiet since then. And there are lots of other gangsters. We spoke about Shri Prakash Shukla from Gorakhpur, Harishankar Tiwari. This entire region, this larger eastern UP region, is the home of many of these gangster politicians. And today, we are bringing you the story of yet another one because he has made a splash in a manner that usually strongmen make their splashes. So see this 3-second visual from his kind of fan club Instagram page. That's called Dhananjay Singh Youth Brigade. It's an Instagram page. So just see this. You see this and you can see what kind of build-up he has and where is he coming from and where is he coming to. He's coming to Jaunpur. Jaunpur is his home district. He's coming there from Bareilly where he had been jailed. In fact, he had been convicted for kidnapping, extortion, etc., which are among the lesser crimes he's been accused of over time. He's been accused of and tried over time. In this crime, in many of the other crimes, including many murders, and I will list those for you in some detail, many murders, at least one case of rape. In all of those, he's had his way. He's under trial in 10 more cases. But for a somewhat lesser crime, that is the kidnapping of a government servant, in fact of an engineer, a project manager of the Namami Gange project. Namami Gange project, as you know, has a lot of activity in Varanasi and eastern UP area. In fact, in the entire zone through which the Ganga river passes, because there is a lot of money made available for Namami Gange project. Now, that manager, Abhinav Singhal, was kidnapped in 2020. In that case, Dhananjay Singh, former MP, he was MP from Jaunpur for Bahujan Samaj Party in 2009. He was convicted on March 6. He was in jail, apparently having a very reasonable time in jail with the cooler, etc. And then there was a demand from some people, supposedly his rivals, saying that he is interfering in the electioneering in the constituency because he had put up his wife, Shrikala Singh Reddy, the Bahu from Telangana. She's his third wife. They had got married in Paris not long ago. They had got married in Paris in 2017. She is now contesting in Jaunpur on Bahujan Samaj Party ticket. This is a very cluttered story and it's taken me a long time putting it in some shape. So please do stay with me. It's also a fascinating story. So his wife, the Bahu from Telangana, from a distinguished, well-known Telangana family. Her family actually owns the Nippo battery companies. So she's the one who's contesting as the BSP candidate, obviously a proxy for Dhananjay. That is not something that even Shrikala would mind my saying, because see also this 3-second clip.
क्योंकि वो बाहर आ गए तो वो लोग इधर नहीं रुक सकते हैं, बाहर आ गए तो सबका जमानत जब्त हो जाए.
Again from the same Instagram page of what Shrikala is saying. She's basically saying that they are afraid of his coming back, because if he comes back, everybody else will lose their deposit. Now, 6th of March, Dhananjay Singh got convicted for kidnapping and extortion, along with one of his henchmen, Santosh Vikram Singh. I'm saying henchmen now because they are convicts in this case. Santosh Vikram Singh, they were both convicted and sentenced to 7 years of jail. 7 years of jail. Then somebody complained that he's sitting in Jaunpur jail and influencing the elections, sending out instructions. His wife is asking people to go meet him in jail, basically running his empire that strongmen do, particularly in the Hindi heartland. In fact, why just blame the Hindi heartland? It's happening in Punjab and Haryana also, with all this Lawrence Bishnoi kind of stuff going on. Nevertheless, because he was allegedly running his empire from Jaunpur jail, orders were given for him to be transferred to Bareilly jail. Now, he had barely reached Bareilly that his appeal against the trial court order convicting him, that came up for hearing in Allahabad High Court. And there, the single judge bench of Justice Sanjay Kumar Singh gave him bail. He gave him bail but refused to stay his conviction. So he stays convicted. What that means is he cannot contest elections, because he has been convicted under offences and for the jail term which bars him from contesting unless his jail sentence or conviction was suspended by the High Court. That hasn't happened, but he's been given bail. Now that's a little bit, let me just say, it's quite interesting at a time when chief ministers can be in jail for a long time, or ministers can be in jail for a long time without trial even having started, and with no real line of sight probability of a trial starting anytime soon. In this case, the man who's just been convicted and given a 7-year jail sentence has got bail, and he's arrived in Jaunpur to a hero's welcome. Now, there are many sides to this story, but the two important sides are crime and politics, because both are interlinked. Now, you will also ask me, how come all of this gangsters, mafiosi that we keep talking about, how come all of these come from this bunch of districts? If you look at Jaunpur, for example, it nestles almost exactly in the center, in the middle of Varanasi, Azamgarh, Sultanpur, Pratapgarh, and then Prayagraj, a little bit of distance away. So this is the heart of eastern UP. Why do all these criminal politicians, or alleged criminal, in many cases politicians, come from this region? Now, one of the reasons is that the main source of income, the main revenue generator for anybody in these areas where there is very little industry and very little job possibilities and very little economy, local economy, it is basically a labor exporting region. There, most of the money becomes available from government contracts. And that's what you see in the history of all these mafia figures as well, because most of their crimes pertain to government contracts or officers who have the power to give government contracts, who are working in departments, government departments that hand out contracts. You see that also in the pattern of crimes involving Dhananjay Singh as well. Dhananjay Singh is a young man relatively. He's only 48. He was born in 1975. That's the year I graduated from college, right? So he's a very young man, and see how much he's quote unquote achieved in this time. So I'll take you back to his crimes. Some alleged, some crimes like this one, there is a conviction. But in most of the crimes, about 46, 48 cases he has faced over time of very serious crimes. In all but about 10, he's either got acquitted or those cases have been closed with the police saying we can't find anything more. So they filed their final reports, which is the step just before the closure of a case. This includes some cases of murder. In fact, the judge in this case, while giving bail to him in Allahabad High Court, has actually taken notice of that. What does he say? He says, considering the facts of this case, that the Appellant number 1, Dhananjay Singh, has secured acquittal in 28 criminal cases due to reasons that witnesses turned hostile, as pointed out on behalf of the state, which has not been controverted on behalf of the accused number 1, and that there is no dispute that at present 10 criminal cases are still pending against him. I do not find any good ground, special reason or exceptional case to stay the operation and effect of the impugned judgment of conviction. At the same time, Justice Singh has given bail to Dhananjay Singh. Now, Dhananjay Singh is a free man, he can go anywhere. So what does he do? He drives in style into Jaunpur, and see his Twitter. On his Twitter page, he has an active Twitter page. His followers have an active Instagram page. On Twitter, he says, Namaste Jaunpur. See this tweet. Namaste Jaunpur. मैं अपने शहर जौनपुर में आ गया हूँ और आप सभी के अपार प्यार व जन समर्थन से अभिभूत हूँ, लेकिन सनद रहे कि वक्त आचार संहिता का है, दैट मीन्स कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट इज ऑन, धारा 144 लागू है, सेक्शन 144 हैज बीन प्रोमलगेटेड, कहीं जाने अनजाने में कानून का उल्लंघन ना हो जाए, मेक श्योर देयर इज नो वायलेशन ऑफ द लॉ, दैट्स अ बिट थिक, बिट रिच ऑल्सो। हम आपकी भावनाओं की कद्र करते हैं, वी रिस्पेक्ट योर इमोशंस, और आपसे दरख्वास्त करते हैं कि चुनाव नियमों का पालन करें, एंड वी रिक्वेस्ट यू टू फॉलो द रूल्स ऑफ द इलेक्शन कैंपेन। He now lands up. Now, first of all, a small point about what his importance here is. He is a Rajput. He's a Rajput. Jaunpur has a large number of Rajput vote. In fact, it is almost 2 lakhs. Now, nobody knows the exact count. Maybe after Rahul Gandhi or somebody is able to hold a caste census, we'll know the exact count. But these are estimates, mostly estimates made by the police, government departments, and also by local journalists, and also these are things that political parties have on their database. Jaunpur is a very large constituency in terms of population, because we haven't had delimitation, and these regions of the country have had very high birth rates. So Jaunpur has almost, in fact, 18,67,000 voters now, of which about 2 lakhs are estimated to be Rajput voters. There, Dhananjay Singh holds a very strong sway, and in the previous elections, many of which he or his family members have lost, he has still got quite a large number of votes, and he has the ability to upset some other candidate or maybe a bunch of other candidates. So he, even if he's not winning, he influences the outcome of the election. If you see this constituency, it has about 2 lakh Rajputs, 2,75,000 Yadavs, 2,32,000 scheduled castes. Muslims are about 1.5 lakhs, and another 1.5 lakhs are Maurya/Kushwaha, who are in OBC. And you can see that's how the parties have put their candidates. The important thing is, while Samajwadi Party has taken Babulal Kushwaha, who is a well-known politician, has been here and there, almost everybody in these parts has been in various parties. He is the candidate. The expectation is that while Samajwadi Party gets the Muslim vote and the Yadav vote, because Yadav vote is quite high, to 2,75,000, Muslims are 1.5 lakhs, and if he's also able to get the Maurya Kushwaha vote, then SP will have a good number of votes. The important thing is that this is one of the few seats in the 2019 election that BJP did not win. This seat was won by Shyam Sundar Singh Yadav. So Bahujan Samaj Party and Samajwadi Party were in alliance in 2019. Once again, everybody looks at caste equation, balances caste and other identity equations. So Bahujan Samaj Party, thinking that they would already max out on the Dalit vote, Muslim vote, and some Yadav vote will be transferred on behalf of the Samajwadi Party, gave the ticket to a Yadav. He's, however, been left out. Bahujan Samaj Party has given its ticket to Shrikala Singh, who's Dhananjay Singh's wife. That's essentially because Dhananjay Singh himself could not have contested, because his conviction came just around time nominations would be filed for the seat, or in fact, just 2 days earlier, he had put out posters saying, "I'm coming back, please prepare for elections." And you can see those posters. Within 2 days of that, a couple of days of that, his conviction came. So he was out, his wife came in. Now what happens is that BJP has brought in a Thakur candidate, but not from UP. Belongs to Jaunpur, but Jaunpur has not been his Karm Bhumi for a long time. In fact, Mumbai has been his Karm Bhumi for a long time. He's been Shekhar Singh has been a senior leader of the Congress party, has also been named in several scandals and cases, but he's one of those people who had cases against them and joined the BJP. So he joined the BJP. He's been brought in from Mumbai to Jaunpur to contest from here. What Dhananjay Singh's entry does, it's mostly going to affect Shekhar Singh's chances because he will cut into the Rajput vote. So that is the politics of it. And there are many theories as to the timing of his conviction, then the grant of his bail and his arrival, because everything ultimately, given the timing, looks at politics because everything has a political implication. That said, the real story is his rise. His rise in politics. In politics, his rise has not been that meteoric. He's won a couple of elections, but he's lost more than he's won. He's been across parties, although, mind you, he's never been in the BJP, in Samajwadi Party or in the Congress Party. He's either been with BSP or with JDU or with Independent, and once, as we just mentioned to you, his current wife got support from Apna Dal, which is an NDA alliance. Otherwise, he's not been in BJP, Congress Party, Samajwadi Party. He was born, as I told you earlier, in 1975. 1975, and he must have been just about 14 when the anti-Mandal agitation started. At that point itself, he became active. He became active in protests, and student politics very often in these parts also gets mixed up with local crime. So by the age of 16, 17, he was also enmeshed in local crime. 1992, he was named in his first attempt to murder case. In fact, he was named, he was in custody, police custody, and he gave 3 of his board exam papers from police custody. So whoever the gang leaders then were, they really caught their talent young. They had an eye for talent. That is 1992. Then lots of other activity took place, which was relative to what unfolded later, not such a lot of big crime. When he went to Lucknow from the Jaunpur college, in Jaunpur he was studying in Tilakdhari college, that's the name of the college. He went to Lucknow and he came in contact with Abhay Singh, who was a strongman at that point. Abhay Singh later became a Samajwadi Party MLA, by the way. By 1997, he was getting caught in murder, extortion and other crimes. So first in 1997, that is 7th March 1997, there was murder of assistant warden and physical training instructor at La Martiniere College. In that murder, he was named. Then again in July 1997, he was named in the daylight murder of a PWD assistant engineer, Gopal Sharan Srivastava. Now, this murder brought Mayawati under pressure. She was in the government then, particularly because this engineer was involved with her dream project, that is the Dr. Ambedkar Park project. When that happened, she cracked down on him, and then see what happened. Something really dramatic happened. In 1998, a bunch of things happened in 1998. For example, in 1998, another murder took place. That is another contractor, and this is a contractor in Ayodhya named Santosh Singh, who was killed, who was murdered apparently or allegedly through poisoning. And it was said that allegedly it was done by Dhananjay Singh, and his alleged accomplice was a man called Guddu Muslim, who was a member of Atiq Ahmed's gang. And so that case also meandered through the legal system, and we don't know what finally happened to it. It was in 1998, because there was so much pressure, I suppose, on Uttar Pradesh police to catch him, that one day they announced that they'd had an encounter in which 3 persons had been killed, and that Dhananjay Singh was among those killed. So he was then, police basically closed the file saying, we've killed the guy, right? Thok do, to humne thok diya, that file is closed, this man is killed. 4 months later, the guy surfaces, came back from the dead. And can you imagine the kind of celebrity it built him in those quarters, right? Because if you're growing in that business, then something like that will give you an instant mythical halo. What had happened in this case is that the police killed 3 other people and claimed he was one of them. One of those killed was a man called Om Prakash Yadav, whose father, Fulchand Yadav, is a CPM leader who has confirmed the sequence of events and the details of the case in a conversation with Shekhar Salaria, our correspondent in Lucknow. I will share with you two important stories. One, a story by Shekhar Salaria on the life and times of Dhananjay Singh, and second, a story by Sania Dhingra from Jaunpur on his wife's campaign and also the entire story of the family and the background of crimes, etc. Those two are very important stories. Those two are very important stories. So Fulchand Yadav has spoken with Shekhar Salaria confirming this. Once he surfaced as a living being, then there were cases against police people. So 34 policemen, UP policemen, had cases filed against them. One for fake encounters and second, I suppose, for making fake claims as well. So that is what further gave him celebrity and he became a bigger star in his universe. Then in 2000, an even bigger incident took place, and once again you can see that people who are being hit are basically government officials working for departments which gave out lucrative contracts. So in 2000, Dr. Bachilal Rawat, who was Director General Family Welfare, while on a morning walk, was shot on point-blank range. There also, Dhananjay Singh was named. That case also went through the system, one after the other. Witnesses turned hostile. In 2010, he was acquitted from that case. Then you come to 2007, because 2006 December, he gets married. He gets married within 10 months. His first wife is Meenu. Within 10 months, she's dead. She's dead. The family says she died by suicide. Other people say there was some hanky-panky there, but nothing really happens. It's taken as suicide. So first wife is gone that way. Subsequently, he marries another woman. This is Dr. Jagriti Singh, who's an orthodontist in New Delhi's Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. They get married. That marriage doesn't last very long. There is trouble in the marriage. In 2013, however, in November, the maid working in their home is killed, is murdered, is beaten to death. And Jagriti Singh is charged with that murder. Now, not only is she charged with that murder and arrested, but Dhananjay Singh is again charged with destruction of evidence. The allegation is that he destroyed the evidence on CCTV cameras. So he also gets arrested. So he also goes to jail. Remember, in 2009, I told you it gets very cluttered. That's the reason I'm trying to separate political life from criminal life. But the fact is that in 2009, he won elections for Lok Sabha from Jaunpur, from Bahujan Samaj Party. So at this point, he was a member of parliament. Subsequently, in early 2014, Mayawati expelled him from his party. It was his second coming in the party. But we'll visit that in a little while. So that case is also going through the legal system, and once again, witnesses are dropping here and there. In the middle, while he was still in jail in this case, a woman emerged from Jaunpur, a 42-year-old woman then, saying that she had been serially raped by him over many years. That case has also disappeared now because it looks like that woman is not available to press the charges. While that's happening, other actions taken place. In 2010, there is another double murder. This is the murder of a tea stall owner and a contractor in a village or a place called Kerakat near Jaunpur in the same area. So in that case also, he gets arrested. He is now a member of parliament. So he gets arrested. The murder is in 2010. He gets arrested in 2011. Once again, we don't know where that case has gone. Again, I told you it's cluttered, so it will go back and forth a little bit. My apologies for that. He splits from the second wife, Jagriti Singh, in the course of time. In 2017, as we told you, in Paris, he gets married with Shrikala Reddy, who's now Shrikala Singh, and you can see her pictures, you can see her campaigning, and when you read Sania's story, you can also read quite a bit of color as well. She is now standing up for him while he was earlier in jail, and now he cannot contest because he has a 7-year conviction in serious cases. The story of crimes is not yet over. I just took a very short pause to catch my breath. On 6th of January 2021, a redoubtable gangster in Lucknow, Ajit Singh, who used to ride a bulletproof SUV, he made a stop somewhere got down from his car, maybe to buy a snack or maybe to just buy a pan. And as that happened, 4 motorcycle-borne assassins pumped bullets into his body, more than 25 bullets, and he was killed. In that case, again, Dhananjay Singh was implicated. It was said that shooters spent time at his home, and also when one of the shooters was injured or was not well, Dhananjay Singh allegedly called the doctor for help. So that case also is going on. And once again, while that case also goes through the legal maze, again with witnesses dropping here and there, somebody who was considered the leader of the shooters in that case has meanwhile been killed in a police encounter. So some witnesses will disappear on their own. Some witnesses will see discretion as the better part of valor. And maybe some of the participants will disappear in encounters as well. So you can say in that case also, it will become increasingly difficult to secure a conviction against Dhananjay Singh. Now, I don't know where to stop because 2009, he got the Bahujan Samaj Party ticket in Lok Sabha elections. What had happened before that? After he had earned his celebrity, having come back from the dead, he then came to Jaunpur and he came in contact with Sunil Nate, who was a local tough or local gangster. Sunil Nate already had quite a reputation, had political ambitions. In fact, Sunil Nate was generally described then as the guru of Munna Bajrangi, who was another gangster in the area. That Sunil Nate said that he was going to contest from the Radi Assembly constituency and Dhananjay Singh was working for him. It just so happened in the run-up to the elections, one day suddenly, we don't know how things happen, Sunil Nate died in a road accident. As he died in a road accident, Dhananjay Singh took his place and decided to contest as an independent. In that campaign, he carried Sunil Nate's portrait to his chest and won that election in his name. So that first one was won as an independent. In 2007, he contested again from the same seat. He was seen as a winnable candidate. So now JDU gave him a ticket. I told you that to have a criminal record is not such a negative in these parts. In fact, these are useful boxes to check on your CV if you want to be a politician in these parts. Looks like most parties really value you. So JDU gave him a ticket and sure enough, he was up to it. 2007, he won the Radi seat again. But he wasn't happy just being an assembly member. 2009, he wanted to contest for parliament. Now, he wasn't just happy being an MLA, particularly when he was not an MLA of the ruling party. So how much is the power, barring local chota-mota power over Chudbhaiya people, small town people? He wanted to play in the big league. So 2004 parliament elections, he contested on Ramvilas Paswan's party's ticket, Lok Janshakti party's ticket, LJP's ticket, and lost. 2007, he contested assembly on JDU's ticket. As I told you, most parties look for people for their winnability candidates, and to have a criminal record, criminal antecedents, it's not usually a negative. In fact, in most cases, particularly in these parts, it's a huge positive because that's part of your winnability. These are good boxes to check if you want to be a politician, if you want to be wanted by various political parties in these areas. 2007, he became an MLA again. He won the same seat again. Now for JDU, but JDU was again not part of the ruling coalition. 2007, Mayawati came to power in Uttar Pradesh. So he wanted to be close to power. 2008, he joined Mayawati's party, Bahujan Samaj Party. 2009, he was fielded by Mayawati from Jaunpur constituency, and lo and behold, he won it and he came to Lok Sabha as an MP. And he came to Lok Sabha as an MP with so many of these cases, including murder cases, including that 50,000 rupee reward from the past, including the history that police claimed he was dead, killed in an encounter, but other people were killed in that encounter, etc., etc., etc. He came to parliament as a BSP MP. This is also the year 2009 when he married Dr. Jagriti Singh that we told you about just a while back. Now, 2009, while he was an MP, other cases broke out that we've told you about. But while this election campaign was going on, something else curious happened, and for which we don't have any answer, so we will not take you any further on that. So, Bahadur Sonkar was also a candidate from a nondescript party. Bahadur Sonkar, Dalit, a candidate from a nondescript party called India Justice Party. He was one day found hanging. His body was found hanging on a tree while the election campaign was on. I will not go any further and say anything more about that because we don't know. Because in these zones, people can disappear. We can drop off. People can disappear. People can drop off dead just like that. The stuff you see in the movies, the stuff you see, say, in Mirzapur, OTT serial Mirzapur and stuff like that, that is not all that unreal. You can see a lot of that play out on the ground. And you can also see the nexus between people who are successful in crime are also more often than not successful in politics. Now, BSP kept him in the party despite all of his other issues, criminal cases, murders, kidnappings, etc., but suspended him when? They suspended him in 2011 because he visited Amar Singh in hospital, that is All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi, and also questioned this arrest. That is something that Mayawati would not accept. Again in 2011, he was arrested for the double murder that we told you about. That was a double murder in Keraket in Jaunpur of the tea shop owner and the contractor. Mayawati had now suspended Dhananjay Singh and also denied her party's ticket to his dad. In fact, when he joined BSP in 2008 and got the ticket to contest for Lok Sabha, he also got BSP to get a ticket to his father to contest from Radi, which later became Malhani, and he won the subsequent by-election from there as well. So they have a pocket borough, the assembly constituency earlier called Radi and now called Malhani. By 2012, Radi had become Malhani. That's where his second wife, Jagriti Singh, contested and lost but damaged BSP. She got more than 50,000 votes, which is a lot in an assembly constituency, and the BSP lost. Even in 2014, when he was in jail for alleged destruction of evidence of the killing of that maid in their home, even then he contested from inside jail and got 64,000 plus votes, and that helped the BJP in that election. 2016, Behenji forgave him for all his indiscretions and misdemeanors and readmitted him to BSP. 2017, however, she did not field him in the assembly election. She did not field him, but he got the ticket from Nishad party, from the same constituency, Malhani, formerly Radi, and lost that election. Now, if you don't think this is enough drama, I shall tell you more. In 2021, just as the police had put a price on his head of 50,000 in 1998, 50,000 was serious money, right? Doesn't look like so much now, but 1998, you had to be a really serious criminal to get that kind of a price on your head. In 2021 now, in other cases, police had him declared a fugitive and absconder and had another reward of 25,000 for his arrest. What did we do? You call me a fugitive? I am not a fugitive because I am wanted in another case in 2017. So I'll go to court. So he goes to court in Prayagraj in a 2017 case. He surrenders it dramatically, immediately gets bail and goes out and says, look, I surrendered in this case. I went to court. I've been bailed out. I'm not a fugitive. How can you call me a fugitive? And while this is happening, while he's still supposedly at large or hiding and police can't find him, he's a fugitive. He, just to thumb his nose at everybody, posts a video of himself on social media, posts a video of himself playing cricket in Jaunpur. That is the video that Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party, shared on social media saying, look, this shows how UP government, that is Yogi Adityanath's government, is protecting him. The police says he's a fugitive, but he's playing cricket and posting videos of that. Fact, however, is that soon enough, he was no longer a fugitive. There are many other things that happened meanwhile. At one point, some cases against him were transferred to Special Task Force. That maybe the regular police can't handle him. Special Task Force. In UP, Special Task Force is a formidable body. You would expect them to do something really drastic about someone whose cases were handed over to them. What did they do in this case? They said that there is no corroborative evidence in many of the cases against him, and all the other cases against him are bailable, so he is no longer an absconder. However, still no party was willing to field him. He contested again as an independent in Malhani in 2022 and lost. Between 2009 and now, the only election he or his family One was the Zilla Parishad election in 2020, which his third wife Shrikala Singh won as an independent, and later with the support of Apna Dal, which is a constituent of National Democratic Alliance, ally of the BJP. With their support, she became the chairperson of the Zilla Panchayat. That's the position she has, and she's the one who's now contesting in Jaunpur for Lok Sabha, again on a BSP ticket. I know this episode is long. That's also because we are looking at a very eventful, interesting life over almost quarter of a century, and somebody who's once again become quite important in our politics at this point of time. However, there are two things I will tell you. First of all, I read out to you a para from the order that Justice Sanjay Kumar Singh of Allahabad High Court has written while giving bail to Dhananjay Singh. He says, and I quote, "Now it is the need of the hour to have purity in politics. Therefore, for staying the judgment of conviction, this court should exercise its discretionary power sparingly with caution in a rare and appropriate case." And then he goes on to say in the next para, "The very future of our democracy gets imperiled when such offenders masquerade as leaders, making a travesty of the entire system." I am not saying it, the judge is saying this. "The increasing trend of criminalization of politics is dangerous and has steadily been eating into the vitals of our democratic polity, along with growing corruption of a humongous nature." That's from the judge. And now, finally, before I let you go, a little factoid that our political editor D.K. Singh brought to my notice. Go back to Jaunpur, 1963. 1963 was the first time that the opposition in India made an effort to come together against the Congress party. There was a by-election. In fact, there were 4 by-elections in India at that point, where many opposition parties combined, that is the Socialists, Swatantra Party, what used to be Bharatiya Jan Sangh then, some others, they combined and they decided to support common candidates. Now, I will give you the names of the candidates, and those are very interesting. I will keep Jaunpur for the last. There was Acharya Kriplani, independent in Amroha, supported by all these parties. Minu Masani of Swatantra Party in Rajkot. Ram Manohar Lohia himself from Farrukhabad, from the Socialists, again supported by all the parties. And in Jaunpur, none else than Deen Dayal Upadhyay, one of the founders of the Bharatiya Jan Sangh, and somebody whose writings, whose thoughts, even the current leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party follow very closely. So he contested this election in 1963 with the support of all these opposition parties and lost that election. And who did he lose to? He lost to the Congress candidate Rajdev Singh, who also happened to be a Thakur. That also underlines to us the importance of caste-based vote banks and also the domination of Thakurs in this constituency. That's in fact the first and last election that Deen Dayal Upadhyay fought. In fact, this little experiment of 1963, this then grew into the Sanyukt Vidhayak Dal kind of experiment when opposition combined in many states against Mrs. Gandhi's Congress, and in 1967 left her well below the 300 mark, although she still had a majority, but a small majority. That wasn't a Congress-like victory. In fact, this opposition alliance in 1963, this was the precursor to larger alliances by 1967. That was the election in which Indira Gandhi led the Congress party for the first time, was reduced in numbers heavily, and this opposition unity at that point was primarily responsible for it. She was rendered much weaker, reduced to a number way below 300, though still in a majority. And that happened because of opposition unity. And the opposition also learned for the first time that if they united genuinely, they could give the Congress party a tough competition.